Today we're going to take a look at the ET-300, and when you do dog training services with us, it's very likely that you'll be using this with your dog. This is not going to be a video that talks about exactly how to use it, because it's going to be different for each dog and each owner. This video is going to walk through the functionalities of each button, as well as things like how to turn it on and how to charge it. That way we don't have to go over this stuff when we're in person. All right, so the Mini Educator, as it's called, is from E-Collar Technologies. It's a very nice system. A couple of the nicest features: it's got a half-mile range, it's fully waterproof, and it can quick charge in just under 2 hours. All right, it has the ability to vibrate, to do a tone, or to stimulate the dog with the remote static stimulation. All right, so the components that I've got in front of me, we'll go over them kind of quickly. This is your remote. This is the part that you will be holding in your hand when you're working with the dog. This is the receiver or the collar, and this is what the dog will be wearing. And then you've got your charger, okay? And this is how you'll charge up your equipment. We tend to charge them each night so that you know you're ready to go in the morning. Now, this is the lanyard that comes with it. You would click here, and it's got a nice strap that you can put around your neck and wear. You can hang it on a hook when you're not using it. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because this is fine to have on your remote. However, when you're working the dog and actively working the dog, you want this to be in your hand, not hanging around your neck. All right, so it's fine to have it on, but when you're working the dog, this will be in your hand, ready to go. If you have to take time to grab that and look at it, you're too late, right? This should be in your hand when you're working. Okay, so what we're gonna do is start with how to charge this. Both of these are rechargeable. So as you'll see, you have a little port right there, and this flap opens, and then you would insert this charger into it. And as you see, it's a splitter, so it's got two. These are the same, and it does not matter which one goes into which, but both the collar and the remote have very similar ports, just like that. All right, so you'll charge this up, plug that into the wall. This light will turn red while it's charging, and then when it's fully charged, it will be green. Same goes for the collar. Now, when you take them off the charger, this is important because you need to make sure that your equipment is on when you start using it with the dog. When you take it off the charger, both of these pieces will be off, just like they are now. So we need to turn them on. The way that you turn the collar on before you put this on the dog is you marry the red dot there and the red dot there. All right, so you get them close. It's a magnetic technology, so you get them close. And as you can see, this did a green indicator light, and it will now blink green intermittently, letting you know that the collar is on, and it's green, so it's fully charged. As the battery gets low, maybe 8 to 10, maybe, I don't know, 14 hours later, this light will start to blink orange, and then it'll blink red before it dies. All right, this is the same way you can turn this off. If you aren't going to be using it for several hours, or you just want to turn it off and have it sitting on the shelf, red dot to red dot, the light goes red, and now this is off. Okay, I'll turn it back on so we can keep our demonstration going. Now, this remote is also off right now, and when you take it off the charger, it will be off. You see there's nothing lit up there or here. On the back, you have an on-off light button, which I will hold in for several seconds, and this comes on, okay? That was on high, so we'll turn that down. We don't want to demonstrate the high just yet. All right, so this is now on, all right? Hold it again, and it turns it off. Okay, so that's how to charge it and how to turn it on and off. Next thing we'll do is we'll move right into what all the different buttons do. And just to throw in, you will put this fairly snug on the dog's neck, off to one side or the other. We don't put it directly in the front and we don't put it directly in the back, off to one side, and tight enough that it's not going to be spinning around, as you want to have good contact with your contact points so that the stimulation goes between those two. All right. So the functionality of the remote, you've got your antenna. So that's what gives you your range. You've got your intensity dial. This is what's going to control the level of stimulation that the collar is receiving. So as you can see, it's called a rheostat dial. I can dial up in increments of 1, which gives you great control over your levels. This also can lock the number in. So if I find that I have a dog that's going to work predominantly on a number 20, and I don't want to be scared that the number might change in my pocket or accidentally, I will push and hold this in. It will blink once, letting me know that that is now locked in. And as you see, the 1D is no longer blinking. And now if I dial that up and down, nothing's happening. You unlock it the same way, hold the button in, and now it's unlocked, and I could go back to adjusting the dial. It's good to practice being able to do this with one hand. All right, so like that, okay? You might have to work a little bit to be able to dial with one hand, but when you're out in the field working, you don't necessarily want to have to take two hands to dial up and down, so practice using it with one hand. All right, that's your intensity dial. Next, we'll go down the side here. You've got this black S, which stands for stimulation. This is going to be the primary button that will stimulate the collar at whatever level is shown on your receiver. So at a level 20, right now, as I hit that button, I'll get us on a 20. I'm gonna hit the button, okay? And you can see it lighting up, letting you know that the collar is receiving the stimulation, and that's at a level 20. Now, you see the little M and the C there? That's the mode that we're set on, which right now, that means I have a momentary and a continual. All right, so in this case, the black is momentary, the red is continual. So if I hold the black button in, even like that, you see it still only does one stimulation. That's on momentary. Now, if I hold the red button in, it will stay continual, and it'll stay at a level 20. All right, so momentary, continual. Now, we can adjust that, and you can make them both momentary or both continual. And what we typically do is I like the continual, which I'll cycle through on the mode here. And just so you can see this button, your M and C button, that is how you cycle through the mode, and you hold it in until it beeps. And now you'll see, if you can see okay, I've got just a letter C. What that means is both of these are continual. With that being said, I now have the red button as a boost. So if I'm on a 20 and I hit the black button, I'm now giving a stimulation of level 20. I can either tap like this, or I can hold it in like that. When I use the red button, that's gonna boost up to a 25. Okay, so if you need a little bit more stimulation and you don't wanna dial up, you can use your boost button. Very good. All right, so you've got your stimulation, you've got your boost, and you understand now your mode that you can adjust there. All right, lastly, we've got this button that says T. It stands for tone, I believe. We typically keep our collar set on the vibrate function, so this T will vibrate the collar. Okay, now you'll see that the vibrate is always going to be the same intensity. It doesn't fluctuate with the levels of the intensity button here. Very good. All right, so that's the basics of what the remote does, how to use it, how to charge it, and how to turn it on and off. The last thing I'm going to show you is just a fun feature that the ET-300 has that no other collars on the market are currently offering, which can be very nice. If you are walking your dog at night and you want to be able to see where they're going and what they're up to, this actually has a built-in flashlight right there. So I'll direct your attention back to the on-off, and you see it says light. Instead of holding this button in to turn the remote on or off, I will now click it once, which will turn on the flashlight, and it's blinking as the first setting is just a blink like that. If I click it one more time, it's on steady, and then you can see the dogs bouncing around the yard. Very nice feature. Click it one more time, the light goes off. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and turn everything off. So red dot to red dot, that's down. Power on the back, that's down. Okay guys, I hope this is helpful. We'll see you soon. Happy dog training.